and welcome to Off the Tee. My name is Chris Exusion. You can find me at Chris Ebom on Twitter, and you can find my golf page at OTT Matchups on Twitter. Genesis, great tournament, down to the wire. Max Homa pulling it off. If you follow me on Chris Ebom on Twitter, I played him 12-1 on Saturday. He just had the best stats to win this tournament, and he ended up pulling it off in a very dramatic playoff against Tony Finau. And we also cashed in with Jordan Spieth, top 20 winner, and 2 for 2 on top 10s with Tony Finau and Victor Hovland. So overall, a winning week. Couldn't be any happier. We're going to go into the World Golf Championship now, the Workday Championship. This is typically the Mexico Championship, but with COVID going on, now they're going to be playing in Florida at the concession. Jack Nicklaus course, par 72. 7,474 yards, Bermuda grass greens. These greens are going to be tough, just like last week. Very, sloping greens. Tons of water here, which is going to be like the reverse of the Genesis. And there's going to be a lot of water there. There's no cut at this event. 72 players, $10.5 million purse. First place gets $1.82 million. So about this course, there are 4 par 3s. 3 of them are over 200 yards. That's something to really consider when you're choosing golfers as well. Guys that hit real well on the par 3s that are kind of like bigger yardage ones. And then there's 5 par 5s that range between 550 yards and 600 yards. So some key stats that I feel like they're going to be important for this tournament: driving distance, strokes gained around the green, strokes gained putting, especially with these greens that are going to be sloping all over the place. And, ball striking is going to be big as well. So those are the 4 I'm going to be looking at. It's going to be pretty similar to Genesis. It's going to be a tough course again, and nobody's really played here before except for Bryson. He won a college nationals here, I believe, but that was such a long time ago. I think it was 2015, so it's been a while. So everyone's pretty fresh and new for this course. So it's going to be really interesting to see who can really play well here with not much experience. So I'm looking at these Jack Nicklaus courses. There's not a lot of data on this specific course at the concession, so I'm looking at 2 courses that kind of might be able to mirror this for the most part. Muirfield course at the Memorial Tournament, I think it's going to be the most similar here. And there's also, that was a par 72, and then there's a par 71 at Harbor Town Golf Links, RBC Heritage. A little smaller course, but still the same kind of setup for the most part, like how they like to set up the fairways and greens and everything. So without further ado, let's get into these bets now. Leader after first round. It's a lottery ticket. It's the one that could have you free rolling, or you just take a little bit of hit. Either way, it's a great sweat for Thursday, and it's probably one of the most exciting bets of all sports betting. So let's start off. Sebastian Munoz, the big home run swing, 80-1. Not much data for the first round for these Jack Nicklaus courses, but he ranks the best in strokes gained tee to green, strokes gained total around the green in the field for first round play only. It's a lottery ticket I want to take advantage of for the most part. He did shoot a 69 on the first round last week, which is real solid. So for him to be able to do really well here for the first round, I'll take my chances at 80-1. Tony Finau, just coming off that big performance, pretty much been playing great for a really long time. Just hasn't been able to, get that winner for the most part since the Puerto Rico Open's been forever. He's been playing so consistent this year, and I went to him last week. He didn't get it done. I'm going to go back to the well again, and I'm going to put him in. He's 22-1. Now he's coming off this emotional loss. I feel like he should have some sort of fire. Show me something, Tony Finau. 22-1. I feel like it's a little low, but I think he's been playing so well that he has more of a chance to lead. And he did have the best first-round score at the Memorial last year, a Jack course. He shot a 66, so that is something to consider. Scottie Scheffler, 33-1. He ranks high in the field strokes gained off the tee. I have him ranked the highest off the tee for the first round Jack courses. He's 4th around the green, 2nd tee to green. The fact that nobody's played here, I think this will be an advantage to him. He's a guy that just rises and fires. He's very good off the tee, and he can score at any time. And in a no-cut event like this, I don't think he'll be out of it at any point. And finally, Ryan Palmer, 33-1. Mr. Consistent, does pretty much everything real well. Not much of a weakness for this guy. He scored a 67 on a round 1 at the Memorial. I feel like that course most will resemble this kind of course. It's going to be tough to compare to a course, but I think this specific course could go kind of almost hand in hand with the Memorial Tournament, which is also a difficult tournament, high purse. So it's that same kind of level field. So I feel like Ryan Palmer at 33 to 1 would be a good spot for first round leader. And since this is a smaller field, I'm going to go into the top 20. I'm going to start with Ryan Palmer plus 150. At the two Jack courses, Memorial, he finished second, and he finished 8th at the RBC Heritage. Two different courses, but same kind of architecture, everything like that. For plus value, I'll take that all day for top 20 because he can hang with these guys. Jason Day, with these tough sloping greens at this course, you have to lean on a guy who's the master of the around the green shot, and that is Jason Day. At the Memorial, he did finish 4th. The greens here are going to be much harder here, and I feel that that'll be a big advantage for him. And getting him at plus 150, I really like that. Will Zalatoris, he finished 15th at the Genesis, one of the best ball strikers on tour. He also finished 17th at the Waste Management and 7th at the Farmers. He's been real consistent all year. He's a guy that I feel like you can take advantage of on a course that nobody's really played on because he's been that guy at almost every tournament he's played at. He's been that guy that's been new to the course and he's been playing real well, and now he's going to be going against guys that are on his level as far as not being on that course. I think that'll benefit him immensely. So now we're going to get into the top 10s. I have two top 10s. We're going to try and go 2 for 2 again. Ryan Palmer, 4 to 1. I talked about him, Mr. Consistent. He just fits every bill here. I don't think I need to go into him anymore. I feel real high with him at a top 10 here for 4 to 1. And Scotty Scheffler, plus 335. I just think he's going to be really good off the tee. He'll be able to drive the ball far. I think he'll be able to score a lot of birdies here, and as much as you possibly can. And for him not to be able to be cut, I think it's going to be huge, and he could rip off some really amazing days. And now I'm going to get into 4 guys that I'm putting up money on that I feel like that could win this tournament. I'm going to start off with one of my guys, Sungjae Im, 45 to 1. He actually took time off the tournament 2 weeks in a row, which is really unheard of for him. He's usually a grinder. He plays every week. But he took 2 weeks off. I think this will be absolutely beneficial for him. He is a master ball striker. I know his putting isn't that great. I'm a little worried about it. But you know what? If he's sticking it right next to the pin, I have no worries about that. He's returning to Florida. He won the Honda Classic in Florida, so he likes playing in that state. And as you know, his approach shots are money, and I think that's going to be very important here. The around the green game's real solid with him as well. So at 45 to 1, I feel like you're getting really good value with him. Scotty Scheffler, 46.5. I've been talking about him this whole entire video. He finished 20th at the Genesis. He posted a -4 at round 1 and a -5 at round 4. He's had real good numbers at that tournament last week at the Genesis. Strokes gain approach, around the green, tee to green. His actual weakness was off the tee, shockingly enough. So I don't expect him to do that two weeks in a row. So I expect his off the tee game to be really good. So at 46.5, I really like the odds there. All right, and this is my biggest long odds guy right here, Will Zalatoris. He played real well in these tough greens last week at the Genesis. I think he can use that for this course as well. It's going to be tough here as well, a lot of sloping greens. He's one of the best approach strikers on tour. 2 things I feel like that's important for this event. He's one of the top guys in the driving distance in the field. You're going to need that if you're going to be able to get birdies and eagles at this course. And Sam Burns was right around this number at 71 last week, and him and Sam Burns are kind of the young guys that are playing real well, and I feel like Will Zalatoris is being forgotten a little bit. I think he can really show up big time here, and at 71 is just a fantastic number. He fits the mold to contend, and I love him at 70 to 1. And finally, for one of the bigger favorites, Brooks Kepka. I just really like what he's been doing around the green, putting. I'm taking away a terrible round 3. Besides that, he's had really good numbers off the tee, around the green, putting, and tee to green for last week at the Genesis, which is very hard to do. He won already at the Waste Management, which he came back from, which was absolutely amazing. He returns back home to Florida. I think that'll be real big for his mindset, to play back in his home state to make sure that he can play well here. And it's a huge purse. And we all know that Brooks, when he plays for those majors and those huge purses, he does come out and play. And he's one of those guys. He's a gamer. He should feel comfortable here at this tough course. He's shown me he's good to go these last few events. I mean, like I had to kind of see where he was at, especially with his injury, but off the waste management victory and still playing well. I'm not too worried about his final standings last week because I feel like he still played really well. So give me Brooks Kepka 26-1. And that'll do it. Thank you guys for listening, subscribing, liking, commenting. If you guys can do all those things, that would be amazing. Please spread the word about Off the Tee. I love giving you guys this information. You put your comments down, I'll reply, see if I can give you any answers, any improvements, anything like that I can do with the show. And yeah, you can find me at Chris Ebaum at OTT Matchups, and you can find me every Wednesday at Fox Sports The Gambler with Sean Brace on the Daily Ticket in the Philadelphia area. And if you're not in the Philadelphia area, then you can listen to it anywhere on iHeartRadio. Sean will ask me all the questions that he needs to know about what the tournament is going to be going like for the most part, and I will be answering any kind of question there, and it'll be great for the betting public. So besides this video, I'll be answering more bets and anything else he has stored for me. So thank you again, guys. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and let's go win that money.